It's giving vintage IKEA kids, don't you think? Getting used to it, even if yours aren't. It is the very magical time of year where I say goodbye to the planner that has gotten me through the year and welcome in the next. I've had a few requests in how I set up my planner and take care of the day-to-day organisation, being someone who's neurodivergent. I will say, in terms of being organised, my autistic, routine, structure-loving side runs the show, and that is one area where in the discussion when I was being diagnosed, I don't present stereotypically ADHD, but I guess the way that I compensate for that is writing everything down and my planner being almost like a religion, and I have to stick to it. Otherwise things just won't be getting done. I chose this vibrant, growth-filled green for my 2026 planner, and I've gone with the same design. I really like the layout of this, and so come along with me to decorate the front cover and put all the bits and bobs to set it up for the year. I'll link it below, but I'm using the soft cover A5 weekly planner and notebook from this brand. That layout really works for me. For the front cover, I made some labels saying Phoebe's 2026 planner to go on the front. I bought stickers from 2 Australian artists for the front cover this year. These bead ones are by DIY Daisy, who runs make your own bead necklace workshops and runs them in Australia and New Zealand. And these more collage cutout ones are by Minna Gilligan, who is known for her collage, really textured style. I didn't really have a method here. I think I decided which bigger stickers I wanted to use, and then I gradually filled in the gaps with smaller stickers. I also used some botanical washi tape stickers from Officeworks that I had. Luckily the good quality vinyl stickers did come off, so I could tinker with the final layout to try and make it more visually balanced. Then I put my contact details inside the front page and set up my goals, hopes and intentions page, where I put my yearly goals on one side, and then I started my monthly version for each month, so I got started on that as well. And after that I got started on filling in the birthdays and all the dates so far I have for 2026. Okay, the journal is completo. It's quite busy. I just kind of kept going, but I'm trying not to panic and my eyes are getting used to it, even if yours aren't. But let me briefly talk you through some of the things I didn't cover in the voiceover. Most of these things concern how I run the weekly spread, and before I saturate it with revealing personal information, let me do that now. So this is my calendar and this is my to-do list and financial log. I put the weather next to the date. I put any events, titles, birthdays that span the whole day on the right of the midweek section. With weekend, you just kind of have to make do. And then I'll put any appointments or anything I have on the left-hand side. That's all in pen. I color code it. Would really recommend paying attention to how different highlighters make you feel. I really learnt that lesson last year and moved away from greens, yellows, hot pinks and orange, and moved into blues and pinks, pastels. You will still remember it and not forget said item in your week if it's not in fluoro. Then I write a general to-do list on the left-hand note page section of everything I have to do that week. I usually do life stuff and then work stuff in 2 different columns and bunch the tasks together, and I try to, for work stuff, give enough dot points or things to cross off as days they'll take to complete, so each day you kind of have something to cross off, if that makes sense. You break it down into more manageable chunks. I'm adding to these lists the week before, but I think through and draw this up mostly on the Friday or the weekend before the week starts to make sure I haven't forgotten anything. I can refer to previous weeks and be oh yeah, I often want to make sure I get 3 physio exercise sessions in. There's my reading goals, texting, replying to people. They're lighthearted examples, but looking at previous lists does help me remember things I do want to do, might have forgotten, and things I constantly want to be working towards. Then as the week goes on, I usually put these things, or maybe broken down, in here as well, so I can cross them off and see what my days will look like, since I'm freelance and have to make up the shape of my days myself. And then down here I put my expenses, so every single purchase and what it is, and that information, which is personal, business, all input output, goes in my monthly finances section of my little overview and intentions for the month. But it's also a really good log to have in hard copy form for when I'm doing profit and loss statements or whatever fun other paperwork I have to write up. tax returns, you get the idea. A good little practice I started doing last year to make it okay, you know, if you don't get to everything, because we can be responsible for making ourselves feel bad, I feel, by not always getting that guesstimation of what is reasonable to do right. So if I don't complete something, I will, instead of crossing it off with pen, just cross it off with a pencil, so I know that maybe I can move it to the next week, or it's actually not a priority, it's something I just have to forego for the time being, blah blah blah. But you still get to cross it off, you've just highlighted that it wasn't something you got done this week. If you're not ADHD and you're watching this, like, it's the little things, okay? In terms of this side, if there's something I'm not sure is actually going to happen, I'll write it in pencil. If there's something coming up, like a social thing that I'm actually kind of scared of doing, but I want to do, or I want to just not think about it so much, I'll just write it in pencil small, so it doesn't feel like it's something I have to commit to as much. I swear there are actually quite a lot of very affecting mental tricks that come with a planner, and because I'm such a visual person and I do like it all being laid out, I simultaneously have to be quite careful that I'm not making it too overwhelming. It's so easy to just want to put lots of fun things down that I want to do that week, but actually holding back a bit, history has shown, is the best way to go. I hope some of those tidbits were helpful. It's sounding both boring and not that profound to me right now. But yeah, I'm really happy with the look of this. And even though I was gifted the Frankie 2026 planner, as a thank you for contributing to Frankie this year, I think I'm going to stick with this one. But if you'd like a Frankie planner, do actually DM me, because if you want to just pay for shipping or something, I have one unused. And it's very sweet. The design takes a lot of inspiration from journaling and scrapbooking this year. But I hope some of that was helpful. If your ADHD would genuinely be interested to know what organisation, diary, reminder system works for you. We're all very different, and I feel like this is the domain where it shows. We like what we like. Probably don't change that much. I just got back from seeing Sentimental Value and I loved it. I don't think it's overhyped. So beautiful. Didn't make me feel too much. Like, it just seems like it reflects life back at you, and maybe because I find life heavy, it wasn't like any like surprising awful feelings that make you unable to sleep. There's also like such great fashion in this film, like the everyday outfits that the main character Nora wears. Mwah. The natural fibres, the flattering cuts, so jealous. Lots of really funny beats in it too. I loved it. A parcel arrived for me. I bought myself another pair of Solomon's because this pair I have worn every day this year. Sorry if you don't like the bottom of shoes, but yeah, they're like quite worn down. I'm still going to wear them because I love the style, but I also just want some variety, and there are some colours I wear that just don't feel quite work as optimally with the purple and cream, and I really wanted some green shoes for a while. So I got these, and like, they're gonna look awesome with, you know, these pants and other greeny elements. You get the vision. I love also when you just know your size and it's like such easy ordering, because as much as I hate being overstimulated in a shop, like, why does it feel still like a 50-50 whether your online purchase is gonna be a go or not? One more thing, last night I finished Keiko's Might Cry Later. I didn't want it to end. It is really, really, really good. I don't think it'll top my favourite one of hers. That'll still be Social Cue, because it's such a easy, comforting, just like escapism filled wee read, whereas this made me feel a lot of things, and there are some points I'm like, whoa, I'm relating to this and it hurts. But I forgive you, Kay. It's about a late diagnosed 21-year-old whose life kind of falls into a massive heap, and following a stint in hospital where she gains and autism, ADHD, and some other diagnoses. She returns home and is around undiagnosed family members. It's a bit of a flaming shitfest dynamic, but very wholesome as well, and just like it's Christmas time, so you know, tensions are high. It's a very big feeling type of time. I think it's like absolutely the best representation of late diagnosed autism in fiction that I've read, and the messy family dynamics that go along with that. There are some very strong similarities for me. Like, I also have a brother called Luke. My dad is also the silent type and his job revolves around spreadsheets. But whether you like relate super strongly to Nora, the main character, there's like so much in this character that you absolutely will relate to something if you're neurodivergent or late diagnosed or grew up without enough information to fully understand yourself. Kay is so good at establishing narrative that just unfolds perfectly but like doesn't reveal everything straight away. All the characters are like so believable and immediately picturable, and it's a big cast of characters in this. I really love how her love interests, the male love interest, which is a big part to this book, but it also isn't everything. The male love interests are always very like soft expressions of masculinity, very safe people. There's like similar flavors between, I feel, the one in Social Cue and in this. I also felt it was like the perfect articulation of being unwantingly self-focused because you don't have enough information for yourself and you're operating from such like a blinded, struggling standpoint. Yeah, and like the messy attempt of doing one's best from that point. The chapters are like my perfect length, the typesetting also to my taste, and I love that it doesn't answer every question, not in an annoying way or a cop-out way, like when it leaves things like the story a little bit ajar so it can live on with you and there's enough for you to like take it how you want to take it or keep maladaptive daydreaming the story on. Anyway, I just wanted to give like a really thorough review for Kay's book because I think Kay sometimes watches these videos. Kay lives in Queensland, but I approached her to be a mentor for the Cat Muscat Fellowship a few years back, and since then messaged a bit on Instagram, and that's so awesome. Little me would be bloody kicking themselves to like know an author of my favourite books. And it's a good decent size. Could have read it in a weekend, but I wanted to make it last, so I did it over 4 days. Happy New Year, everyone. I have just come to the beach. Here is said beach, and I'm going to eat some onigiri I just made using my little onigiri mold. So much easier, good lord. Makes for a much more sensory friendly experience as well because you don't have to touch the rice as much. And while I eat that, I'm going to write down my 2026 goals, which I have a space for in the front of my planner, and I'll also do January's, like, what have I been calling it? Like intentions. Think like subsection goals or even like social intentions to like catch up with said person. I'll put that in the monthly segments. My Etsy and online shop reopened today, so I was just wrapping some cookbooks to send off to the people who ordered over the break, and I've run out of the green tissue paper, so I've been using up like old Frankie posters, other tissue paper I've collected. So I hope the recipients don't mind the like hodgepodge wrapping you'll get with your order, but honestly it's a lot more interesting for me to look at altogether than the sea of green tissue paper, which I got great feedback on how the cookbooks were packaged, but it got a bit repetitive from my end, gotta say. You might have noticed I've been sewing quite a bit. In a few videos last year where I talked about my cushion situation on my bed and like how that provides support throughout the night, have received multiple times suggestions that I get either like some sort of pregnancy pillow or like those U-shaped pillows, and I hear you loud and clear, but like my reservation in the past has been I have a king single, they take up a lot of room. I also am really prone to overheating. I like my memory foam pillow, I don't want to swap that for like the middle of the U-shaped pillow, and I don't feel like they cater to like the firm support that I like. Anyway, in the Boxing Day sales, I got this meganormous single body pillow, and I've tried it a couple of times. Wouldn't say it's helping me sleep too great, and I don't know that it's for me. Also, something about its bulkiness like makes me feel like there's a man in the bed, which is not it for me. No hate to the lovely he/hims watching. So that's when I was like, okay, let me make cuter pillows that solve this problem, because I know I like really firm support, one on each side, and my current pillows are absolutely disintegrating around me. So as you saw, that's where the star came in. I made it with cotton flannel, which actually is a really difficult fabric to work with, but it's very soft and hopefully a bit more breathable. So that's great. Love this. I've been sleeping with this and it's exactly what I want. A bit of a wedge to go under you, and also like something to hold, and also great for like putting something between your knees so they're separated in hot weather. And then I was going to make a moon because it's a star and moon. But then after looking at it on my bed for a bit, I thought, is it a star or is it more of a sea star? Because she's unique in imperfect starness shape. So of course I decided to take the trickier route and not make a moon, but make a shell, because it's a beach theme, not an in the sky theme apparently. And that's where I'm at currently with my shell pillow. I know for me to get into sewing and build my confidence with it, I need to not follow instructions, because that's the only way I've learnt in the past. It's like someone showing me and I just blindly copy them and nothing is retained. Previous to making this clam pillow, didn't know how to really thread a machine or load your bobbin. This has taught me that, because it's used up so much thread. I've had to, reload the bobbin like 6 times. So I think this is the way to go. I'm trying to only buy the materials for one project at a time, and for each new project I'm trying to hold myself back by like only introducing one new element to learn. So there's a lot of repetition and I'm building on the skills I already have to really cement them. Hopefully with all those ingredients it like sets me up for high satisfaction and dopamine and like reward. I've gotta say though, it's like a different world when you're sewing. The flow state, how quickly time goes. The half hours are like 5 minutes, and I can get a bit, I think, dehydrated, not good at looking after myself, just, totally ADHD hyperfocus state with it. So I'll try to be better at that, but it's really hard because it's really addictive, because you just want to keep doing it, and it's just like, just the next step. I'm so close to finishing, I'll just do a little bit more. But I gotta learn to somehow put the brakes on. Anyway, my plan, I wanted to say, with this meganormous body pillow that I no longer want, obviously it's not refundable, and that's fine. It was only like $30. I'm going to use the stuffing in it because I've run out of stuffing to stuff these new pillows I'm making. Really proud of myself, because sewing and learning new crafts and making things that I know I want and how I like them, it's been a goal for a long time, so props to me. It's finished. Don't look too closely. But it still looks like a shell, and it's like the perfect shape to like wedge under your body. Could be worse, friends. Most importantly, I learnt a lot, and I love the pink thread on grey. That was inspired. It's Sunday, January 11th, so we're well and truly in the new year. If I seem a bit flat, I think it's a combination of everything happening in the world's really heavy. There are many bushfires that are not under control around Victoria, the state I'm in, and there was a lot of smoke yesterday, and the weather has been very hot and windy and like turbulent, and lightning and rain that's super heavy that lasts for like 5 minutes and then it's gone. There were so many dehydrated birds in our garden and possums that fallen out of trees, and yeah, it's felt a bit more of a time of survival than maxi relaxy summer holidays of late. I've enjoyed a lot of rounds of bananagrams. I can recommend that game. The more people the better with that game. Highly recommend if you need some form of connection when you're around people you're meant to be having quality time with. I made another pillow. This is my favourite one yet. It's giving vintage IKEA kids, don't you think? It's not perfect, but I don't care. And my sleep has improved for my pillow situation being troubleshooted over the course of the last couple of weeks. I have spent some super lovely time with friends. I sort of spontaneously made some more onigiri to have with a friend who is so special to me and is currently studying overseas, and that was just the most beautiful catch up. Reminded me like cooking for friends is such a light, joyful experience compared, like it still requires effort, but just compared to my day-to-day cooking and who I'm cooking it for or recipe testing. It's very cup filling. Just doing something maybe small, like one thing for a friend, very worth it. Pays you back big time. Some clothes I ordered in the Boxing Day sales have arrived and I'm feeling much more equipped for the hot weather to come. I always find finding clothes that I feel good in summer much harder than the cooler months, and because like with sweat, hot weather, you like go through them more quickly, and I find summer clothes, especially tops, are so impossible these days, good quality to find in op shops. I thought I'd just show you. I've become quite used to wearing compression shorts, and the ones I wear all the time, they're just not really ones I'd feel comfortable wearing as an outer garment. So I got these ones by 2XU where the seam is not down the front, you know what I mean, and they have 5 pockets. They're definitely fine to wear outside. They kind of are quite high rise, but they have this elastic band at the back, which if you just fold that over, it's really still very comfortable, and then it just sits just below my belly button, which I find is the sweet spot for not disturbing or aggravating my gut and like making me bloat or anything. So I'm very happy with them. They're not as compression filled as my usual ones, but they offer something, and even though they're not the most breathable fabric, as like physios have pointed out, circulation help I would get from them probably would help my body regulate its temperature better anyway than if I wasn't wearing something compression related that was a breathable material, if that makes sense. In previous years I'd been wearing these bike shorts which I'd got from the kids section in Target. It worked, but yeah, the seams in the crotch area weren't really it, and I feel like it's just gotten worse, like the saggier they've become. So I'm gonna retire those, but now I'm thinking actually, as I intend to move towards fabric sewing with stretchier fabrics, I might unpick this and save this fabric because it's such a nice stripe to work with. I don't like or buy from Gorman these days at all. That brand has gone downhill in so many ways, but I did see this singlet being advertised to me on Instagram, and I thought, oh well, I know I would wear that a butt ton. It's very me and a basic and not so colourful and giving kindergarten teacher vibe that it couldn't be a piece you wear and wear and wear and wear. So I think that was a sensible purchase. And then I also saw this layering piece. It's all cotton by Princess Highway. It's quite thick. I love this style, and I can wear it in hot weather or cooler weather by just changing the base. It still needs a wash, and I haven't totally figured out how to style it, but I imagine I'll be able to make it work in lots of different ways. This video has been extraordinarily chatty, so I really appreciate you being here. I hope it's been okay to have on in the background. I won't be shoving sewing content down your gob every time, don't worry. Food will continue to be the main thread. I have some videos I'm really looking forward to putting together coming up, but if you do have things you would like to see, I would be interested in hearing about them. Can't promise I'll get round to them, but I might incorporate or address them in one way in the videos this year. Last thing, promise, a recent win is that I finally got this little Rode Mini wireless Go mic working that I got for my birthday. They don't make it easy with all like the connector cables and whatever. Bloomin' heck, but hopefully that will make for a much nicer viewing experience and maybe can push me slightly to vlog a little differently and more bravely out in public. We'll see, don't get too excited. I'm testing it out with the short form content, mostly on TikTok at the moment, but I'm excited to play with this and see how it evolves my videos for the better. Thank you so much for being here and watching as always. I'm so appreciative of your support in 2025 and for still being here this year. I think I'm very close to 30,000 subscribers, which is ridiculous and very, very cool. It's always so nice to read your comments and engage with you and keep this little online space going. I got a little notification reminding me it's been 10 years being on YouTube this month. Time really does fly, but I can sense my speaking voice is becoming a bit laboured, so I'm going to get on with my day. Hope you have a beautiful rest of your day or evening wherever you are, and I'll see you very soon in the next video.